Wordsworth once said, to fill your paper with the breathings of your heart. In this way, Kurt Vonnegut moved his writing in the way that his life followed. These are my sources that I used: healthcentral.com, timemagazine.com, quotegarden.com, kurtvonnegut.com, the New York Times, factindex.com, and an interview with Shirley Simpson. Kurt Vonnegut was one of the great American literary icons of all time. He was a survivor of World War II, a fighter of depression and suicide, and he changed science fiction forever and became a successful writer. Kurt Vonnegut wrote mainly fiction, although his life provided him with inspiration and ideas for all his novels. Kurt Vonnegut's experience as a soldier in World War II influenced his writing. In 1945, he took shelter in a German slaughterhouse that was called Slaughterhouse 5, which later served as the inspiration and title of one of his novels. And two of Vonnegut's novels take place in Hitler's Germany, which is Slaughterhouse 5 and Mother Night. And Slaughterhouse 5 is considered his best work, and it's in Top Magazine's Top 100 Best Novels of All Time. Well, however, World War II was not Vonnegut's only bad experience. He, throughout his whole life, he struggled with depression and attempted suicide. Vonnegut's mother attempted suicide when he was in his early 20s, right before he left for World War II. And but he was one of the only people in his time that talked about suicide, because when he was alive, it wasn't socially acceptable. He said that his father was very unhappy late in his life, but he was proud of not committing suicide, and I'll do the same so as not to set a bad example for my children. Vonnegut is a great example of someone who lived a full life and overcame depression to do so. Although dealing with his mental illness, Vonnegut still managed to remain a literary genius. He changed the entire genre of science fiction. Vonnegut attended Cornell and the University of Chicago. He majored in anthropology, although he didn't pursue this because he honestly wasn't very good. He worked a few small jobs after he left the university, and the University of Chicago later accepted his novel Cat's Cradle as his thesis paper. And as he was working, Cat's Cradle became a national bestseller, and then he started working on Slaughterhouse 5. And this is the beginning of how he started changing science fiction. And he created universes and different races and stuff, but as political satire. They'd be dealing with the same political corruption that we would. Vonnegut was an incredible writer who used his wit, sense of humor, and his immense creativity to change science fiction writing forever. Kurt Vonnegut has been many things throughout his life: a soldier, a prisoner of war, a victim of depression, and an icon. We can all agree that consistently he has been a writer, and not just any writer, but one that has enchanted and changed American literature for the better. I'm honored to tribute Kurt Vonnegut for his part in World War II, his battle with suicide and depression, and becoming a successful writer and changing science fiction for good. Kurt Vonnegut died in 2007 at the age of 84. He will live on in the hearts of his fans and those who read and admire his books.